This video is for people, especially the younger generations, who are new to genealogical research and you're wanting to dive in and you don't know where to begin. Well, besides the census records that came out every 10 years, the U.S. federal census records, there is something called city directories. And they began back around 1860 or so and went on through 1900s to the 2000s. And you can find these city directories at your local library or the local libraries for the counties that you're wanting to search in. Some city directories are available online. Some you have to have a paid membership to things like Ancestry. They're usually divided into sections. All right, here's a newer one. This one's from 77. Got that cover page, introduction, general index. Got a little map of the town, some educational centers, and some of the historical landmarks and whatnot. Then you got a yellow classified business section. They've started making it yellow. Then after that, you got the alphabetical directory of the surnames. Then you got the street guide tab, and then you got a phone directory. They've got phones now. Okay, so they're not in alphabetical order, they're in phone number order. And then you had the rural route directory, or people that lived outside of town. So there's that, and then you got this little map of them in the back. So, what are some things you can find out from the city directories? You find out if your ancestors are listed with a spouse, or if they are listed as widowed. You find out if they were homeowners or if they rented. You learn what their occupation was and where they worked. You find out if they are listed as a student. You learn their street address and their phone number, if they had phone numbers yet. This is 1913. All right. Let's see, this one's got all the pages very brittle. Let's see. All right, there he is. There's my ancestor, and he was married to Laura. He was a grocer. Now this one shows his North Main was his business address for his grocer, and residence was 634 North Main, so he lived right next to his grocery store. This guy here, that's his son, and he was a clerk for Matthias, so he worked at his dad's store. And that was his residence, 623 Northeast. Here's the business directory. Let's see if we can find my grandfather's store in here. All right. There he is. All right, so under grocers, retail, there's Jensen Matthias, and that was that address of his store. Remember, the 636 North Main? All right, and then you got back here, you got by the street names. There he is. Jensen Matthias, 636 is his business. And 634 his residence. Main North. Here you have my grandpa Harry Lewis and his wife Dolores. He works at the meat counter at Clancy and Thompson Grocers, and Grandpa and Grandma own their home at 1225 Park Place. And this is my great-grandfather, John Edward Lewis, and his wife, Frances. John was a driver for the state hospital, and he and Frances owned their home. And this is Martha Lewis, widow to John Riley Lewis. They're my second great-grandparents. When you start genealogy, find the U.S. federal censuses that came out every 10 years and then compare them with the city directories that came out either yearly or every other year or maybe every 3 years, but it was pretty common to be every year or every 2 years. Also, phone books, they were very similar. They had different kinds of sections they were divided into. Usually the front of the phone book had like emergency numbers, ambulance, police, all that. Within the front cover would be all the cities and towns that were included within the book. After that would be a list of all the area codes for all the cities and towns, and then the directory of all the people that were willing to list their phone numbers publicly, listed in alphabetical order by surname, with their address and their phone number. They had the people in the front, and they had the business directory in the back, the yellow pages. Yep, that was the good old-fashioned phone books.